Welcome back, LTV Nation. Scott Argenbright here. We got two videos coming at you guys. First one is going to be today on shallow water finesse fishing, and the next one will be on power fishing. You're going to want to stay tuned for that one. So these fish, it's the middle of May. These fish have moved, they've moved shallow. They've done their business. They're up there still feeding. You have certain days where the conditions aren't quite perfect. They're not quite right. So you need to downscale your tackle. Do finesse fishing. And today we're going to be featuring the Sense NedFry. A bunch of different ways that you can rig this bait. First off will be Ned Style. Next we'll talk about Wacky Style. And last but not least, we will also Texas rig. This NedFry, when you get around that shallow water cover, weeds, rock, you want to bounce that thing around weedless, not get snagged up all the time, that's perfect. So there are several reasons why we would be finesse fishing. Maybe it's a cold front, or we have gin clear water. A lot of the time in those conditions, the fish, they don't respond well to bigger baits and throwing crankbaits, moving fast. You got to slow down and really pick apart the various types of cover, wood, rock, around docks, but you're slowing down. The conditions are not ideal. The best time to really do that, and the best tackle to really do that, is lighter tackle. So you've got a spinning rod, 20-pound braid, you've got a nice 15-pound fluoro leader, and that allows to kind of fool those fish that are negative. Let's jump into rigging. First up, we have the primary way to rig this bait, and that is on a Ned style head. You got your NedFry. You're going to come straight into the barb, push that down, and come out the other side through, and pull it down flush with that Ned head. That's the first way to rig the NedFry. Next up we have Wacky Style. You're going to take your mustad wide gap hook, and you're going to come directly through the middle of that bait and push it all the way through. And there you go, you're ready to skip docks and all the different cover. Next up we have the Texas rig. You're going to come directly into the top of that worm, push it down past the barb, come through, slide it all the way up the shank of that hook, and you're going to give it a twist. Back through the center of the worm. So you use the round curve of the hook as your gauge. Come in, and there you go. You've got your Texas rig. In addition to that, we also included in the box the glass rattles. So how you're going to add that glass rattle to your bait is use the end of the hook. You're going to puncture and make a little hole in the bait. That'll allow you to slide and add that glass rattle into the bait. And you've got a presentation that those fish just have not seen. Sometimes that vibration really triggers the lateral line of those bass. And when you're finesse fishing, any little added bonus that you can have, advantage that you can have, you're going to catch more fish. So we've taught you how to properly rig these baits. We're going to show you next how to fish them properly and effectively as well. First off, we've got the Ned style. You're going to hold your rod tip about at 10 o'clock and then just slowly drag that bait along the bottom. A lot of the times you're going to get the most bites by just even soaking that bait, letting that head sit on the bottom and that worm stand straight up and down. Look at that one, guys, on the Sense NedFry. Too much fun. Next up, we've got the Wacky Style. Again, you're rigging that bait straight through the middle, and then you're going to cast out and keep that rod tip again about at the 10 o'clock position, and you're going to let that bait just flutter down to the bottom. You're going to get a lot of bites on the fall. If you didn't get the initial bite on the fall, you're going to slowly pick up your rod tip, give it a couple short little shakes, and then let it fall back down to the bottom. You're gonna make sure that you wanna watch your line as well when you're wacky fishing, because you'll see that line jump, the line pop, and then you know you've got a fish, and you can set the hook into them. Last but not least, we've got the Texas rig. Again, this is a weedless presentation. You also have your glass rattles added to it, just giving it that extra little sauce. You're gonna cast that bait out, let it sink for a few seconds, and then you're gonna do short snaps of your rod tip. That's gonna allow that bait to walk the dog subsurface. Now that we've taught you 3 different ways to rig this bait and fish it effectively, it's your turn to get out there and catch some biggins. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Stay tuned for that power fishing video. We'll see you on the water next time.